Well, I mean, I've always wanted to go to China, but most recently because of the whole transportation thing. So it was a chance to go and see a country more populous than ours, cities that are at least as crowded, functioning with bicycles as the main means of transportation. And I especially wanted to see how that affected the society. I wanted to see how that integrated with people's being, really. Like how it feels to get up in the morning and get on a bike and go to work with a million other people riding, jingling bells on the way to work. It's not something I could readily imagine. I mean, I've been in bike tours where there are thousands of people, but there's always an edge. There's always the competitive edge to that. It's not transportation per se here in America. It's something else. You know, I can only say that the experience was much greater and on a grander scale than I ever imagined. And you know, even these images presented here in this film cannot do it justice. It's not the same as being in it and being swept along by it and feeling it pour around you and coming at you from every direction simultaneously. The other thing that I could never have anticipated was what it's like for all of these different modes, pedestrians, cyclists, tricycles laden with hundreds of pounds of stuff, mothers carrying children, sisters, brothers, all on bikes, and then motorized vehicles, buses, taxi cabs, and motorcycles coming through intersections with no traffic lights. And this kind of innate ability that they've developed over time to make that work. But there were rules operating under the surface that worked very well. It was a kind of critical mass thing where all the cyclists would pile up and then go. All the cyclists going, say, turning left in an intersection would wait in the middle until they had enough numbers to force through the cars and make them stop, and vice versa. And it worked. And you just had to kind of like get into that rhythm and let it happen. And in 7 days in China, we saw a total of 3 collisions, and each of us was involved in one of those. So that means, and that's because we were to a gag at looking at things, and we were in the way.